Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Never Late, Always Right on Time. Wait, are you wearing a sweater, Jesse Cox? Do you have like a sweater with a shirt underneath? Oh my God!
No, it's just a. There's no shirt.
Why
underneath.
do both of you look like
there's no shirt underneath?
Hold on.
No, what?
Why do you both look like you just stepped off of a train to Hogwarts, and I'm over here like I just got back from summer vacation?
Listen. We already established in a private offline episode that me and Jesse are the Flotsam and Jetsam. And we just came back from the evil villain committee of how we're going to bully you.
Wait, what is Flotsam and Jetsam? What is this? What do you
mean? Aaron is like such a huge Ariel or Little Mermaid superfan. You don't know the name of the two.
We're the two eels. The two.
Wait, but wouldn't that make me?
One has one eye, and one has another eye.
Hold on. If you're the two eels, wouldn't that make me Ursula?
No.
So who am I then in the Little Mermaid world? Am I Sebastian?
For the chat, you let the chat decide who you are. Chat.
That's never a good idea. Why would you do that? That's worse than you deciding.
JP will always be like all positive and assuming the best, and me and Jesse will be like, no, that person is garbage.
They're saying I'm Flounder.
Yeah, you got Flounder, big Flounder.
Wow. Oh yeah, wow. Flounder energy.
One
we
guy
would tear you apart.
One guy who's about to get banned, a 51-month sub, says JP is a stone on the beach. So I don't even get like an actual character, according to that guy.
No, I think your wife has
plus
major
ratio plus you're a stone
on the beach. And
yeah, no, your wife has major Ariel vibes, and you are definitely Flounder.
Okay,
like hanging out with Ariel,
just hanging out,
like trying to keep her out of trouble, but like also getting in trouble. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Wait, who is Scuttle?
Ooh, the seagull.
Oh, he's the seagull. Okay,
I don't know. God, who's the crazy? Do you have any like wacky old friends, like kooky old timer friends who like want to tell you about like
Scoots
things that are they're perfect done? Yeah. I mean that actually checks out. That really checks out.
Yeah.
And then you need your Sebastian, whoever that is, and you've got a whole thing.
Wait, who's Sebastian? What's the dog's name?
The Sebastian's the crab.
Because we have the dog.
Sea.
Oh, okay. That would that would probably be day 9.
There you go. And the dog is with Prince what's his face. Who cares about him?
Yeah. So, but the dog is Ollie, who's trying to get into my frosted mini wheats. Ollie, you're a dog. Well, yeah. How do you think you're going to open that box there, son?
Ollie, you're a dog. Don't tell me what I can't be.
He's just pawing at the box of mini wheats. He's very confused.
Ollie, you can be anything you want.
Yeah.
Buddy,
you can do whatever you want.
You can't eat frost. Anyways, Jesus Christ. Jesse, how was traffic? Did the man live? The man or woman live?
I don't know. So I can't even begin to tell you what was happening. So I think it was a combination of multiple factors. So apparently, from what I saw, there was someone trying to jump off an overpass. But also at the same time, there were 2 cars stalled out in the fast lanes. So like it was madness.
Well, in that video, the like news video that you sent or tweeted, I think, quote tweet is what it was. There you could see a man who was on the other side of the railing that was like preparing or was going to do what he was going to do. But the newscasters didn't even mention it. They didn't even say what. Maybe that's protocol. I was confused. By that.
I have no clue what it was, but I did. What's crazy is when I was driving down to the car repair place. On that overpass, there was like a dude I saw throwing stuff on the highway, and I wonder if it was that guy. I don't know. It's also just another day in LA sometimes. We're just like, all right, here we go.
Me and Chad had a great discussion. It was only like that overpass from the video. It didn't look that much of a fall. So
it's also traffic. Like if traffic is going,
if traffic's going, that's what would have done the deed, so to speak.
He hits a person, that car spin, like that would have been, that would have been bad. That would have been, so I understand.
Yeah.
And like, I hope if it was a dude who's threatening to jump, like he's safe and stuff, but also I left that dealership at 9 a.m. man. I left at 9 and I didn't get in till 11:10. So it usually is a 15-minute drive. And so I was just like,
yeah,
cool. I planned everything. 8:30 was my appointment. Pulled up. I was like, yeah, so this is all stuff that needs to get done. I was in the like rental car they gave me and on the road at 9. Like, easy. I'm gonna be in by 10. This is gonna be great.
You made a mistake. You made a mistake and you didn't plan for the LA suicide.
Clearly, I did not make the right plan.
It's always got to be in there. You got to be ready to get off the highway at a moment's notice. The second you see traffic. It's just how it goes.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. Bronze, who is Chloe and why do you have her glasses?
Okay. So I wear prescription lenses, or I'm supposed to.
Don't let him do this to you, Bronze. I have stuff on my glasses too.
Yeah, but those are Ray's glasses. Okay, Ray is like an established glasses guy.
Yeah.
Chloe though.
And I keep having issues with them, like pinching on the bridge of my nose because I have kind of a big nose.
Yeah.
And so before I got my prescription put in, I was just going to try it out with the dummy lenses. And the dummy lenses have this written on them. It's not a sticker. It's like on the glass.
Okay.
So I'm just a logo kid now.
Wait,
so here's the thing. They look great.
Yeah, they look great. I really like them. I will say #no ad though. Have you tried out Warby Parker? Have you ever done the Warby Parkering? They're pretty good. They're pretty great.
Really?
Yeah, I'm wearing Warbies right now. They're great.
Okay.
You can give them your prescription and then they'll literally just send you the lenses to try on. You can get up to like 4. And then you just choose whatever you want. And then you send them back to them, no charge. And then they put your prescriptions in them and send them to you. It's a great process. And they're not expensive.
Kind of dope.
Yeah.
I got mine from the mall. Some company called Versace. Very excited about
Versace?
No,
I'm pretty sure they said Versace.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they said Versace.
What is Versace like knockoff Versace?
No, it's Versace. My glasses are always the most expensive thing I own.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're the biggest.
I wear them all the time. Yeah.
I was going to say, that you wear them on your face constantly. They should be an investment piece.
You have Versace. Wow. Okay. I didn't realize we were with a LA celebrity here. Jesus Christ.
Shout out to Lens Crafters in the mall. Got me the deal with my AAA membership. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing, Bronze.
AAA membership.
If you download the Warby Parker app, they have an AR thing where you can just try the lenses on via the app. It uses your front facing camera. That's what I did. It's cool. Pretty sick.
I'm terrified of that stuff. I always, every time someone's like, buy clothes through this app or buy glasses through an app, I'm like, but I want to try them on immediately. I don't want you to send me like 15 pairs that I then try on and then determine what I want. Then I got to ship them back and like just a hassle.
I thought you were going to
just go to a place.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say like, I don't want him to have my information. Come on.
I literally sent my ear to Square Enix. I'm not like,
I did the same thing and I don't know if it did anything at all. In fact, my stream told me to turn it off because it affected the audio on the stream, but yeah.
I'm not even fussed about that. Mm-hmm. I could care less. I'm everywhere on the internet. At this point, people got scans of me. It's fine. I'm all right.
That's true. Hey, is there anything happening in the MCU? Because I have no fucking idea. There's probably not.
Yes, I just saw a bunch of stuff the other day.
Yeah?
Man. Well, all right. Besides the usual suspects on the internet, I don't know. The biggest problem with being a Marvel fan and to some extent a Star Wars fan is every time something new drops and you like get into it and you want to see what people's thoughts are and you like look at opinions and things, YouTube always filters the algorithm to eventually just flood your For You page of just being like, the most toxic people on earth being like, this is why Miss Marvel will be the downfall of the Disney empire. And you're like, what? Like, what? Every time. And it's just too much. But anyway, within all that, as I filtered out all that garbage, there was a lot of people talking about some of the new stuff coming down the pipeline, especially a lot of the new footage of Moon Knight, which...
Yeah, they've been putting out some footage of that.
Looks great. And a lot of people are comparing it to Legion, which I'm so thankful we're watching that. Because...
Man, we're fucking smart, guys. I just want to, I get a little bit of chills when you say that because it just verifies how smart the three of us are in terms of our...
agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Have all of my suggestions been crack on thus far?
They're great.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, they're crack on.
Is that Bronze Girl the smallest creator on MCU Crew with the biggest brain?
No one will deny your brain size. Massive brain.
Yeah, that's true.
Huge cranium.
It's big. It's
big brain. Huge brain dunk-a-dunk.
Yeah.
Massive.
Listen, if I had as many viewers as I have brain folds, I'd be the female Hassan.
I'm not okay with the phrase brain folds, but like, all right, yeah.
Wait, is your brain folded? I didn't think a brain was
folded,
was it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's got wrinkles. It's got all sorts of stuff.
You need
in there, man.
like for maximum surface area.
Oh,
mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then people
and we barely use it,
it
man.
into, if your brain doesn't have wrinkles, then you're an idiot. I don't know if that's true.
Oh, so that's why when you call people a smooth brain,
they're dumb. Yeah.
Yes, because their brain doesn't have any surface area.
Man, we are learning.
Yeah.
Learning.
You know what else is crazy about the brain?
Perception of time changes.
Damn it! I was gonna make the same joke. I was gonna do a whole thing to get there. And
Flotsam and jetsam.
Got him. Incredible. Here's a headline as I'm looking at different Marvel headlines. Francis Ford Coppola says Deadpool is amazing. That's a wild headline right there to read, but I guess he wouldn't watch Deadpool, and he's a big fan.
Look, I'm gonna let you know. I don't know what it is. It's either a Ryan Reynolds thing or specifically Deadpool thing. But I've mentioned on the show many times my dad hates superhero movies.
Uh-huh.
He loves both Deadpool movies. Loves both of them. I don't know what it is. It's the same thing. He's meeting mutants. He's doing like Marvel shit, but it's just, I think Ryan Reynolds tapped into like the guy ego. And everyone's just like, yes, I love Ryan Reynolds. Like, no matter what, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's true. Here's a thing that really sucks to read. The Falcon and Winter Soldier celebrated their first anniversary of the original premiere of the show this past week. And that's shocking because that means that's been out a year. And what the fuck is time? Right? Like, that's insane to consider.
You know, JP.
Wait,
you know,
does that
the older
mean our show has been going for a year?
Yeah. We've been doing this for a little over a year, I guess, at this point. I don't know what episode number we're on, but it's probably in the 30s or 40s.
Episodes, numbers.
I would say low 40s, most likely. Yeah.
It's all about the experience, man.
It's true. Here's another headline. Jared Leto teases Morbius as friend or foe for Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Do you feel like those Sony folk are just like, hey, Spider-Man, talk to me, buddy, please, Spider-Man, hello, Tom Holland, please answer my phone calls. That's how I feel about everything.
I 100% agree.
It's so
I think
stupid.
all the things Sony's creating, all these like Madam Web and Kraven the Hunter and Morbius, they're all things that exist in the Spider-Verse, but they're also things that I don't think Marvel's going to touch with a 10-foot pole. Like, they'll just exist. But yeah, completely agree.
Yeah, it's real dumb. Trying to see if there's anything else here. Oh, how do we feel about Daniel Radcliffe as Wolverine?
Here for it.
Okay.
I don't judge anything anymore. Here for it.
Radcliffe is that he kind of pulled a Robert Pattinson, right?
Uh-huh.
He made the big AAA film and then took all that money and was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do weird art house shit. And I feel like people grow as performers when they do that. Like, I feel like so even though people say mean things like, oh, they fell off or they're not relevant anymore. I think like you end up growing in the scope of what you're capable of once you get away from just doing really shallow AAA films.
Right.
So then you get those dope actors to do sometimes somewhat shallow roles in the MCU. I feel like they bring something else to it. Like, I think Robert Downey Jr. brought a lot to Iron Man, even though the writing for that character wasn't always deep because Robert Downey Jr. is a really, really, really good actor, like, who's done films like Chaplin, right? So then he can come into a role that isn't necessarily deep out of the gate and add something to it that wasn't there. And I 100% think Daniel Radcliffe could do that with Wolverine.
I think he'd be great. It would take a little adjustment from like, you know, an audience's eyes to be like, that's not Hugh Jackman. But then eventually you'd get over it.
But it is Daniel Radcliffe. Like he has a special place in a lot of people's hearts. And so I think that works for him. And also he has the exact potential to do what, you know, Pattinson has done. You even think about like when Heath Ledger was like the rom-com boy.
Yeah.
And then he was Joker. And so I think being able to take someone like, just go look at pictures of Daniel Radcliffe. He is not the young boy anymore. Dude is a hairy son of a bitch.
He is.
That guy.
He would have to put on some muscle though. They'd have to give him a little bit of the shot.
He's ripped though.
He is very ripped, like, but he's not Wolverine ripped. You know?
Oh yeah, but if he can like bulk, he's like a tiny dude. If he bulks up, that might be some of the most accurate Wolverine we'd see on film. I don't know. Like I'm for it. I think give him a shot. You know.
Wait, how tall is he?
How tall is he? I thought he was like 5'7".
I think he's for some reason 5'7" was the number it entered in my brain, but that might be Wolverine's
like,
height.
That was what's really funny
5'5".
is like
That's even more perfect.
That's better. That's better.
Yeah.
That was like the one thing that Hugh Jackman actually didn't match the character on. Is Hugh Jackman is actually way too tall to play Wolverine.
Yep.
He still did a great job, don't get me wrong, but one time he went to Comic-Con, I think dressed as Wolverine per his own like one of his interviews, and he was saying that somebody looked at him and was like, this is a pretty good costume, but Hugh Jackman's actually way shorter or something like that. Like he looked at him dead in his face. Hugh Jackman dead in the face and was like, that's pretty good, but like you're too tall.
Yeah.
So they hit it pretty well on camera, but like he is like a little too tall to play the role. Whereas Daniel Radcliffe at 5'5",
that's really good. That's like
short, hairy Canadian like that. I think he could do it. His face matches too.
He even has the like when he's not smiling like a goofball, he has the facial structure of like an angry, pissed off, hairy dude. Like he looks it when he's just like stone faced. The man has it. I say give him a shot. Like I can't wait for that kind of stuff.
What's the rule on? Can I show a shirtless Daniel Radcliffe? Am I going to get banned?
Hell yeah, you can.
I think you're fine.
Okay, all right. Here they just need to add some muscle on him. He's a little. They just need some density there.
Yeah, the dude but like. He bulks up. Like if they start feeding him like toaster strudels in the morning or some shit, and he bulks up with that mass, the man has got Wolverine. He's got it. Frankly, I'm here for it.
The other name in the potential running is Taron Egerton, if you know that name.
Edgerton?
Yeah. Is it Edgerton or Egerton? I don't necessarily know.
I think it's Edgerton.
He's the guy from Kingsman. And the guy that played Elton John and Rocket Man.
Eggsy. It's my Eggsy. Now, I think he too has a look, and I think he could pull it off as well. I think Daniel Radcliffe has better name recognition.
Yes.
But I think both could go either way.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I think Eggsy, I think he knows how to do action stuff, so like that's not an issue for me. But I've never seen him with like a full beard. You know what I mean? With like the hair, he's never in anything he's never been like the hairy dude.
We need Egerton's body, but Radcliffe's face. And Radcliffe's acting, maybe, perhaps. I think he might be a better actor. I don't know. He's also signed. The other thing that I would consider is maybe a strike against him being Wolverine. He already signed on to one like multi-year film franchise, and then it turned out to be like his entire childhood. So he might be a little reluctant to sign on to that shit.
But he seems like he's into it though. There's a lot of
like pretty positive.
Yeah. I think it's also like having that break in between, right? Like Robert Pattinson signed on to Batman. I think if you had gone up to Pattinson post Twilight, he probably would have told you to fuck off.
It can't always be bots.
Yeah, but I think like having that like several year gap helps people. Same thing with like Benedict Cumberbatch. When they said they were first approaching him for Doctor Strange, I was like, I don't know if he'll do this because he does a lot of what do I call it? Oscar bait.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know, the first gay intelligence officer. You know, he does a lot of roles that in movies that are great, but that like most people don't watch. That sounded really shady. That's not what I love Benedict Cumberbatch. But he's kind of a Cillian Murphy in that like Cillian Murphy will do something like play Scarecrow in Batman, but then he also did like The Wind That Shakes the Barley and Disco Pigs.
They're theater people. They like playing theater roles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think like with that cool down period, he'll do it. That's just my theory. I think if it was hot on the tails, it'd probably be a no. I think it will also be like Doctor Strange though, where we're not going to get cameos in every single movie. Doctor Strange's cameos have been none. Except for Spider-Man is not a cameo. That was a whole role.
I guess he hasn't had cameos, yeah. Well, he was in Thor. He was in Thor Ragnarok, yeah.
Yeah, Thor. That was it. So his cameos have been minimal compared to some of the other characters.
Yeah.
But his Thor cameo was also a post-credit scene. It was an extended post-credit scene, right?
No, he was in it when he was tossing them.
Yeah, he goes and finds
Loki. But I mean, that same scene was part of a post-credit scene for the movie right before, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yes, you are correct about that, yeah.
And so, like, I can understand why they would just be like, we're just shoot it all one day. You know what I mean? And they probably got away with that. But yeah, I imagine Cumberbatch has stuff to do, just like I imagine all these other people have stuff to do. But Daniel Radcliffe, like, he can pick and choose what he does. And so I imagine that I think this goes a long way for Robert Downey Jr. and any other actor who jumped onto the Marvel train. And once a Marvel hit, you're kind of back in it. You can do whatever you want. And you can end up like, you know, Chris Hemsworth just like doing whatever films he wants, or Chris Evans is like, no, I'm the bad guy in this murder mystery now. Like that, you know what I mean? Like whatever. Yeah, I think Daniel Radcliffe has had fun in the world of like indie, crazy, weird movies. And if he jumps into this, I'm sure Hollywood will be like, brother, welcome home. Because that's the way this awful town works. So,
yeah.
Who knows?
One other little bit of news, which I didn't know this was the case, but I guess they're just saying this now. Benedict Wong is out there saying that, as he's putting it, that we've entered the phase Wong of the MCU.
I'm for it.
But he came out and said, or at least this article /film.com is saying that he's taken over the mantle of Supreme Sorcerer.
Yeah, it was already. He's Sorcerer Supreme because Doctor Strange was gone for 5 years.
Oh, and so he took it over. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah. And so Strange is kind of like on his own. He's his own thing right now. He isn't Sorcerer Supreme. He's whatever the hell is like. I'm kind of like free floater. I do what I want. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. For some reason, I liked about that, but cool. That's pretty much it for the MCU news. We'll talk Legion here in a sec. I do want to mention, Jesse, I started watching Peacemaker. I'm 6 of 8 episodes in.
So good.
Dude, that show's fucking incredibly good. If you haven't watched it yet and you have an HBO Max subscription,
I need to watch it.
It's very fucking good.
It makes me so upset that like the commitment level on both the emotionality of the show and the goof of like is so high that it when there's like moments in Marvel shows that kind of like don't land, I'm upset that Peacemaker can be so off the rails insane.
Yeah.
When they need to hit an emotional moment, they hit it every single time. It's so good. It's, you know, Gunn comes in blazing is all I'm saying.
Dude, he does some like it's wild how that show can take itself so seriously at one moment, and then the next moment they are completely off the they're completely off the rails, in the sense that off the rails means that there is a white supremacist father who dons an entire suit and has a bunch of Nazis who are worshiping him while chasing down aliens.
Right.
It's a little
aliens
fucking
that
wild.
inhabit the heads of people.
Yeah.
That are like,
yeah.
While also being a character who is emotionally stunted,
right,
who like hides behind his goofs and being a jackass, because he's like he can't deal with emotions. Like there's so many levels to what's happening in this show, man. and each character has a moment. Like everyone in this show develops in a way that's like super interesting.
Yeah,
like by the end,
fantastic.
JP, you're gonna be like, that was.
Oh, I'm 6 out of 8, so I'm close to the end. I'm a little bit sad.
I need to watch Peacemaker.
Yeah,
I need to watch Peacemaker. You guys need to watch the Harley Quinn show on.
Dude, Harley Quinn's great. Yeah,
yeah. It's like Venture Brothers. If you like the Venture Brothers, like, how else would I? That's the closest thing to describe it to. If you like that adult animated style, it's actually like fire.
It's like adult animated comedy without being like. There's a lot of Netflix adult animated comedy shows that are like the same shit over and over again, and this is it feels its own thing. It like it's true to the characters. It's fun to watch, and then it takes characters like Joker and Bane, and like especially like the main bad guys, Penguin and his like his son, like all that shit is hilarious. They like take it to the next level, make it tons of fun.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying Peacemaker. I knew the intro was good because I had watched it just on its own. But when you have context and then it rolls at the beginning of every episode, you don't skip that shit. I still laugh at fucking Eagly, who shows up on screen anytime. Eagly, by the way, Bronze, is Peacemaker's pet bald eagle.
Mm.
And it's CG. And it's as stupid as you would think.
It is.
But also like hilarious.
The fact that Eagly has such a prominent character role.
Yeah.
And like, dude, I can't even spoil the insanity of this entire show. It's so good. The ending is like,
I love Eagly. He's one of my favorite in the entire show. Just his bit in the intro makes me crack up every single time because he misses his mark and then he steps forward a little bit. And it's so
you can't spoil the intro.
No, that's not even spoiling it because I've watched it 7 times.
It is the first unskippable intro to
you don't
anything.
Skip the intro.
You can't.
Yeah. Remember that Iron Fist intro? Think of the complete opposite in terms of it being good. And then you start to watch every single character every single time to try to get something new out of it. It's remarkable.
I love that one. Like this dance cracks me every time I see this. I'm laughing. Every time.
I don't need
so good.
They could do an entire documentary on how the intro came to be, and I would watch it.
It exists.
It does.
There's a YouTube video where they interview all of the cast, and they're like, "What was this like? Why did you do this?" And it's so funny to see the reaction.
Watch that. Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
I need to watch
the best part is what is the blonde actress? She's like, the intro asks the really important questions like, do you really want to taste it? That's like, I was like, yeah. Great. It's a very important question. Do you want to taste it?
It's good stuff. It's worth it. Anyways, let's what?
Do you really want to taste it?
Do you?
I don't know. That's the question.
Yeah.
Do you want to taste it?
I don't.
Do you really want to taste it? I don't know.
I kind of think I do. Anyways, Jesse, your internet's like freaking out. I don't know what's going on.
My internet is freaking out. On my end, it seems fine, but all right, I'll rejoin. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Don't do a thing.
On my end, it's mostly fine, but he is kind of tipping forward and backwards in time.
His bit rate's fluctuating.
Well, Jesse's cheap internet.
Yeah, it's that.
Kidding. No, he doesn't. Just kidding.
It's that California internet. Now he's not able to rejoin, so now we've really gone and fucked it. Oh, there he goes. Now he's rejoining. Okay, he's back. Kind of. Jesse. Wait, he rejoined, but then he didn't rejoin. Now he's rejoining again. He's having the same issues.
Jesse.
We shouldn't have had him. We shouldn't have had him rejoin. This was a colossal fuck up.
Our hubris.
I can't believe you did this, Chloe.
We were so busy asking ourselves if we could that we didn't ask ourselves if we should.
He's back on the highway. We've got a jumper, and he's gone.
God damn it. What is going on with today's episode?
I mean, it's the past 2 weeks. I think he is actually a supervillain who's just trying to sabotage the show.
What if he's just doing
Oh no, he's straight frozen. I'm watching him connect and reconnect furiously.
God damn it.
Because he knows that the show's going on, so he's probably very very worried about all this. Did you rewatch Spider-Man, by the way? Now that it's out on digital? I haven't. I plan to. Yeah, I plan to, but I haven't. I have not done it yet.
You know what I really want to do? I really want to rewatch that Green Goblin fight in the apartment building.
Yeah, that's one of the best scenes. It's very good.
Yo,
it's really
Peter
good.
Gets his shit kicked in because I kind of want to watch that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking forward to the most.
I was gonna watch it on the plane, but I felt like that would be a disservice to that film to have it on a little iPad,
the tiny little screen. Yeah.
Instead, I watched Peacemaker, which was really funny because the person next to me on both the flight to Dallas and the flight back from Dallas was doing that thing that you do on planes where you watch what the other person's watching without audio, and you try not to let the other person know. But in Peacemaker, there's just straight up sex scenes, right? They're not even, they show everything in essence. And the person would just look over. And I did that thing where you turn the iPad a little bit to the window.
You called them out?
Well, I didn't call them out. I turned it a little bit, but then I realized because I had the window up that it was just reflecting off the window. So then the entire aisle could just see the hardcore sex scene occurring via the window. But hey, you pay a little bit extra to get into first class, you get a first class show. Okay, that's what happens.
Sometimes I will put some random ass shit on the plane while I do other stuff. So I'll usually have my tablet out and I'm writing, and then if there's a screen in the back of the seat, which I guess some planes still have that.
Wait.
I'll just put something up there that's random.
Oh. A lot of planes now just have a little fold down thing where then you can actually set
where you put your phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
And last time I was on an Alaska flight, they actually had the screen still in the back of the headrest.
Oh.
So I put on, I don't know what compelled me. Oh, it's because it had Rachel Weisz in it. And I was like, oh, I really like her. And I haven't seen her in anything since The Mummy, really. So I
didn't realize she did other movies. That's surprising.
Yeah. Play this movie called, what's it called? The Favorite.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's about,
I think Aaron watched
it. Yeah. There's a scene with aggressive finger banging with all these lesbians.
Jesus.
You couldn't leave off the phone, could you, internet? Now
there we go. There we go. The Cox is back. Interrupt. Jesse heard aggressive finger banging, and he's just like, I'm back, baby.
Oh, what a strange place to come back with me talking about lesbians.
Yeah, he just Kool-Aid Man through the fucking wall.
Well, I don't have a camera now, so that's cool, internet.
Do you want me? I can put up an image if you want. If you want to. Oh God, I think he just DC'd again. This man's playing. Oh.
Quit playing.
I think he's back.
Games with my heart.
He's back with no camera.
This is freaking ridiculous.
Jesse, one of these days, we're going to just have a normal show. I don't know why you're trying to sabotage us week after week.
It literally won't detect my camera now. I'm not sabotaging. I'm doing nothing. I did nothing. Everything was fine. the internet was like, Jesse, it's a little laggy. You're a little laggy.
Wait, is the internet
You're all
Yoda?
a little laggy.
Is the internet Yoda? Is that what you're saying?
Sucks.
You
I had to reconnect and then connect my thing again. My camera.
Oh, your camera?
We'll see if it works.
Okay, good luck. Good luck.
This is bull patoots. Everything about this is broke.
Godspeed.
The last device you connect to the computer malfunctioned. Are you kidding me?
Oh, you must be having like a hardware clash somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what? Internet, this is on you. We were fine. I had a face.
You did have a face. You could always use, if you want to just send it to OBS, Jesse, then you could just use the virtual camera from OBS.
It's not even picking up the camera.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it says no signal.
Oh.
So I just want to say, thanks, Internet. You did this.
It was the internet's fault.
It was.
They're stopping us from discussing this incredible show.
I know.
Called Legion.
Look, that's what I wanted to do, and here we are, not doing it. I mean, I guess I could restart my computer, so that will be cool. All right.
Or I could put up a photo. It's up to you.
I mean, if that's what you want to do, it's fine. Whatever.
I'm okay with photo. I'll find a photo. I'm gonna find here's the thing. I will find the worst possible photo.
Great.
Of you. Unless you want to restart. That's up to you.
Great.
It's up to you. Make the call now. Oh, there's some good ones. He restarted.
Wow.
He said, F this shit, I'm out. There's
I
this
mean,
one.
well, you did threaten to take the worst photo of him possible.
I mean, that's just how this goes. We could do this. Wait, why would it? I hate Google sometimes. Why would it like use the transparent checkerboard background, but not actually be transparent?
If it was actually transparent, that would go great over his no signal cam thing.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping to do, but it's just
missed opportunity.
Yeah. Here's this is Deviant Jesse Cox. If we're going to stay on brand, we can check this out. What is a WebBP file? I don't even know what that is. There we go. This looks like if you fused me and Jesse, Jesus, that's a big image, into one person. That's what this image is.
Oh my God, that looks so horrible.
It's just the two of us fused together into one man.
I don't like that at all. I hate that.
It's a weird image. That's
not
there
great.
if you search Jesse Cox. You also got some weird lawyers for some reason. I don't know why. You also got this image. Actually, I'm not going to show that image. There's a lot of weird looking Cox photos out there. You know what I'm saying, Jesse?
Yeah, I'm aware. I know what I am. I know what I am and what I do.
Yeah. Welcome back. Let's talk Legion. Congratulations, everyone that fast forwarded through the time killing process here. Jesse Cox, 2 episodes left in Legion. We've watched 4, episode 3 through 6. What do you think? How are you liking it?
So, first off, I think this show is brilliantly done. It's super cool. But I also now completely understand why people might be turned off from this show. Because for as visually stunning as it is, and for as trippy and insane as it is, the forward motion of the show is minimal.
It's a little slow.
It is a great example is, I think it's episodes 2 through 4 are literally all right. Actually, 2 through 5. It's okay, we're gonna explore your memories, which is great because I'm yes, let's get what is real, what is not. And then it proceeds to be multiple episodes of him in a coma, and then everyone trying to figure out how to solve this problem but he doesn't like do anything except hang out with Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords for a little bit. Like, really not much happens, but it is the stuff that does happen looks amazing and is super trippy. And you spend a lot of time, like, again, because I know people wanted to know my notes on this show. I'll just give you one example.
Okay. Do you have them listed by episode?
Oh yeah. So, all right. So I'll just start rattling off notes and I'll just eventually stop. All right. So I wrote, "Shall we begin?" That was what I titled this, which was, how it all started.
I love you, Jesse. Never change.
And then the first note I wrote was, "Who is this girl who lives inside this man?" I now know that girl who lives inside the man is in fact, Carrie is like the fighter. Like they're two people in one, and they brought up like a lot of great questions. I'm glad that there was a whole scene where they were like, "So what is that like? What happens with that, with her? And more importantly, like, what if one of you die, or what if you die of old age? What happens to her?" Fascinating stuff, because I guess she doesn't age when she's not out.
Yeah, when
she's not outside. Yeah,
that's correct. Yeah.
Which is fascinating. So like all that stuff, I was super into. I was like, okay. Again, I love the weirdness of this whole thing. So yeah, I wrote that, and then I said, "What is this opening story of a woodcutter and his wife?" And then I wrote, "What year is this? Why do I not know what year this is?" And I think it's interesting because all the technology is this weird. Everything looks the 70s, but there's things that are clearly not the 70s in this world, which makes everything not seem real, which I think is the whole point of everything in this show, which I love. But now I know exactly who the coffee machine that tells the story is, which again, great payoff. I'm like, oh, it's Jermaine or Oliver, I think.
Oliver, I was about to say dad. He's basically the dad of the show, but yeah.
Yeah. And then I wrote, like, after I said, "What year is this?" Then we kept getting flashbacks of his girlfriend. And I was like, he dated his girlfriend for 10 months. He lives in a house that looks European. He also teleports. I'm just like, what is this show? And then I wrote, "Sid said she can switch bodies and has done so in the past numerous times." I think this is when they were on the dock talking.
Yeah.
And I was like, their relationship's kind of cute. He was like, they can't touch, but he was her, so he like knows her a little bit, and so he like did touch her in a weird way, which is like very strange, but I'm like, it's kind of cute. And then I asked again, what is real, because in the Halloween segment the name David is like written everywhere, and so that weirded me out. And then of course I wrote down, "Dude, this show is scary AF. WTF."
Episode 3 and episode 4 are very fucking scary.
Yeah, and then I wrote, "Oh shit, Angry Boy." So clearly that must have been when Angry Boy first showed up.
He kind of has he has a little bit of a Hitler stash as well. I don't know if you noticed that.
What's crazy is they managed to take what is clearly just an actor with like a head on and make it terrifying, which is like so weird, and it's all angles and like weird shots and stuff, but I love that. And it bugged me. Can I just say, it kept bugging me that the book is called "The World's Angriest Boy in the World."
The angriest boy in the world, yeah.
No, but it's called like "World's Angriest Boy." It's like "world" is twice in that name.
Oh, okay.
It's yeah. I was like,
that.
I know, which is why it's weird. And then I wrote, "Aubrey Plaza is dirty, like nasty, nasty, dirty. I love it." So there you go.
Aubrey Plaza does go places.
Yeah. And then again, I said, "What is the tech here? Like retro futurism? What am I looking at?" And then I was like, wait, so the curly-haired bad guy can see them all? Only later did I discover his name is the Eye. So I guess, that's his whole point, is he can see them.
Yep.
And then I was like, oh, they're back in the 70s again. And then, and I wrote, the robot is the husband? But then again, I wrote, like, why was there a giant widescreen TV?
These are such great, like, fucking inputs. I don't even know what to say. They're so good.
Yeah, I'm just letting them read off because it's great.
He was a massive druggie, so he definitely isn't trustworthy.
This is all episode 3.
Yeah, this is just my notes from episode 3. Like,
episode 3 is kind of a bigger episode.
Yeah, he's like, he's a massive druggie. And then I said, everyone keeps saying, this is a quote. Everyone keeps saying that I'm sane, but what if they're wrong? And I think that was huge. I love the idea of that being like immediately right out the gate. What if all this is like nonsense and I'm not telling you the truth? And then of course that was the episode, and the next episode they spend time in his head a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's when we start getting to things like this is my intro for episode 4, which was, what is this intro? Ice Room? Flight of the Conchords Germain? Quantum Fun Adventure? Stories that teach empathy versus stories that teach fear? They compete, empathy and fear. That's like, I was so into I want to let you know, I was so into the ice intro of him just sitting there trying to drink his drink, but it kept freezing over. And I was just like, this is peak Jesse. This is the most peak Jesse shit I've ever seen in my life.
It starts very weird with that. Because there's no intro to it. It just like fades in. There's Jermaine, and he's reading the book.
but he does an intro. Like he sits there, he does an intro, and then he's like, no. And he does it again, and then he does it a third time.
Yeah.
And I was like, what does this all mean? So I don't know if he's trying to introduce, like he's clearly talking about the fact that he and David are in the astral plane, which is, by the way, they throw you in the deep end on that.
Yes.
There is no discussion about like what the astral plane is. They're just like, yeah, no, you went too far, bro. You're in the astral plane now. And David's like, well, I can take care of myself. And he's like, I don't know. You can stay here with me. Everything will be chill.
Yeah.
And you can like hang out. And he's like, no, I'm going to go outside with the creepy demon man.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the creepy demon man is just like hanging out on the outside
in the background, like watching, like, what up? I'm like, this sucks. And then, the things that episode, I think the reason why I liked it so much, these are some of the notes I wrote further down, I don't want to spend all day on notes, but what I think about this that was so good about this episode was, even though not much was actually happening, I like that Sid discovered that potentially he's just nothing he's saying is true. Like the idea behind everything he's saying is like kind of BS. And, maybe he's hiding the real truth, and he told the doctor the real truth. And then the note that I took that I loved was, wait, the dog was fake? The most dramatic dog wasn't real music in the history of film. Go back and watch that scene when it's like, but he didn't have a dog. And it like shows the dog, and it's like close up of the dog's face, and the music is swelling, and then it's just like fade away dog. And I was like, that was so dramatic.
You remember the dog's
name? That nature. King was the dog's name.
It's important.
So yeah, and then what else did I write down? Oh,
well, then that episode ends in kind of a big climax on the road. Episode 4. Oh yeah.
I mean, it's another big reveal. I was just gonna. There's 2 reveals. One that happens is they discover that Lenny is Benny.
Correct.
I was like, Aubrey Plaza is real? But then, at the end, Aubrey Plaza is just like, let's F some shit up. So, I'm thinking Aubrey Plaza is straight up just the boogeyman. And so, that's what I wrote down.
Okay.
And then, I wrote down, again, I have no idea what time this takes place in. The agents are using modern arms and armor, while Autonomy is using a World War II era gun.
Yeah.
Also, Jermaine put on Feist on the record player. That's not from the 70s. So, yeah, and I just started, like, my notes are just tons and tons of notes of just...
My, they're serving as a great episode recap for me, because I watched 3 and 4 2 weeks ago, but 5 and 6 last night on the plane. My favorite part about, I think it's 4, is when he's talking to David for the first time, and he puts on jazz, and he starts doing this when the jazz hits. It's so weird.
Well, because the jazz music is like, wah,
yeah,
wah, wah. It's like really jarring,
it's
and David clearly
music. Yeah, it's so weird.
He's like into it, and then every time he turns around and does this thing. It's so good. It's very such a crazy cameo.
It's very Jermaine. It really is just straight up Jermaine being Jermaine, 100%. Yeah, it's a weird thing, but it works. And obviously, as we progress through 5 and 6, that character shows up again. Yeah, so we had the cliffhanger at 5 as well on the road, where they do like the body swap.
Right, where she gets shot. Yeah.
Yeah, she gets shot. And we do the little bit of the body swap deal, which was kind of stupid because she could just literally say like, that's the eye over there, and they don't really
she
discuss
tried,
that.
and it did one of those things that is very like
TV tropey.
Where it's like, shut up, you, and she's like, I'm trying to tell you the truth. And he's like, no, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
Which, okay.
Yeah, but the other big thing there is at the end, Lenny basically just says like, he gets a little cocky in the next episode because he realizes just how strong he is in episode 5.
Right. Well, he like ends up creating a like magical world for him and Sid to hang out in, where they can finally like touch and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is, again, I guess I'm curious where this is all going to lead to, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know what the ending of this show is. I guess season 1 won't have an ending, but I mean,
episode 5 and 6 are also big moments. So I enjoy the notes. I know you don't maybe enjoy reading them, but please continue on with some of the.
No, well, it's a really good recap. I really like it.
Yeah, I like it. I also like because they're first reacts.
Yeah. So, let me continue.
Because episode 5 ends on the road, cliffhanger, pretty big cliffhanger with Carrie getting shot, and Lenny basically saying like, "Hey, let's fuck shit up."
Is that episode 5?
Yeah, because then, that's episode 4. That's episode 4.
I think that's episode 4.
Yeah, that's 4. 5 is the start of that, where they rush Carrie, female Carrie. Carrie with 2 R's and a K.
So episode 5 is the one that ends where David, the eye shoots David.
Yes.
And then Sid takes them to their like home away from home, and that's when the demon guy attacks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. He trounces around the room, and she ends up kind of like on the bed, and he's like looming over her, and then they do the standard Legion cut to the ending with weird shapes and all white screen and like some crazy music playing.
Yeah. Some of the notes I wrote for like 6, I think are fun. I liked the fact that they started to show us backstory of the other characters. Like, we've been getting a lot of David, and so 6 I thought was interesting to see like
they flash back to the psych ward, and you just get character background for everyone through the therapist
Tommy's
sessions.
mom dying, I thought was interesting. Like, being able to see we learned more about Carrie and Carrie, the 2 Carries, and how they relate. I thought that was really neat. Let me see. Is 6 the one where Lenny?
She's a therapist.
Yeah, like Lenny
in the psych ward.
Goes after Sid.
Yeah.
And then finally, Carrie and Oliver have a conversation about Melanie, and then he appears to his wife, right? That's what ends up happening in that
through the wall, and he walks through the wall. She walks through the wall. Sorry. Yeah, they're starting to like get out of the mental projection thing of the psych ward towards the end of that. And Carrie with a C, the male Carrie, ends up grabbing Sid and reveals himself to be in the deep diving suit at the very end of that, and then the music plays. So it's like another cliffhanger, but
yeah. And then then the obvious thing that I think, like I mentioned back and forth, it's totally revealed that Lenny is basically another form of the demon guy.
Yeah.
And that's pretty obvious because they straight up do they
go through all of it.
Hand on the shoulder, where the hand is the creepy hand, but it's like Lenny behind kind of vibe. So it's pretty much revealed that that's the case.
Yeah.
And then there's a hint about who David's dad is.
Yep.
But like
adoptive father is what they.
Yeah. And I think that's also really interesting. They never showed the adopted dad's face. I think that vibe's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But then in the end, what I wrote down at the end was like, it doesn't matter. I still love Lenny as a character. Lenny locks David away. That's like when is it happening?
Yeah.
Is Lenny? I love the idea of a good bad guy and like a fun, interesting like villain that is also like wacky. Lenny, for being Aubrey Plaza, has strong John Leguizamo as the evil clown in
Spawn.
Spawn. Yeah,
That's true. The
Violator or whatever his name
Violator.
is.
Yeah.
It has the exact same energy. I'm here
They're
for
pretty
it.
similar. She really goes. Her acting, I think, is phenomenal. Is Lenny, especially as a therapist. She gets like a cabaret dance as well. That one was real weird to watch on the plane because the guy next to me was just like, "What the?" He was just kind of staring at the iPad as like Aubrey Plaza is doing his weird red cabaret.
Guy next plane needs to chill out. Okay, sometimes people be fucking in Peacemaker. Sometimes people be jamming their vagina into a headrest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, grinding on pillows and all that stuff. Yeah, it was a very Aubrey Plaza moment for sure. There at the end of that episode, and they do go through. They do, like you mentioned, the visuals with like the world's angriest boy in the world. They do like the dog. They show the King the dog, and then they like put a red filter over it. It's like. It's the most absurd looking thing, but because of the background music and like what's going on in the show, it's kind of fucking scary when they show it to you.
I mean, like the Aubrey plot. This is an example of like what this. I think you can probably hold on. I'm gonna check, but I think you can probably just straight up Google and look up on YouTube the Aubrey Plaza dance scene.
Oh yeah. They publish that as its own thing.
It straight up starts with her looking and seeing her reflection in a piece of pie.
Yes.
Like, it is bonkers. The whole scene is bonkers, but I think it's supposed, well, I don't know. I think it's supposed to show the freedom she feels during that moment,
right,
of being like out. But it's so bizarre. Like everything in this show is bizarre. Like, it could have been anything. Instead, it's her like grinding on a medical table. like I don't know, like it's ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. And then it cuts to like 1960s, early 70s kind of like cinematography where it's her outline. That kind of
and
stuff,
all red.
Which I think is interesting.
Yeah,
which again, when does this take place?
About the grinding on the medical table that I put together on this watch through is if you actually look at all the random stuff that she's doing in that cutscene, it's all the times that David has lost control of his powers.
Right.
So like she's jamming her vagina into the headrest of the MRI machine. That's when he teleported the MRI machine outside of the building. And when she's in the kitchen throwing shit around, that's when he first lost control of his powers in the kitchen and his ex-girlfriend left him.
And when she's in the living room, that's when he and Benny were getting high as... I didn't pick up on that at all.
Yeah. Like every single place where she's like grinding and bumping, it's like a location where she's done something to like ruin his life.
Yeah.
In some way.
Awesome.
Like someone tried to get close to him or someone tried to like mess with him. And actually in the bed where she's getting it on the most, if you remember, that's the same bed where Sydney sees the two of them going at it and is like trying to get around to get to the kid. And it's obviously like really upsetting to her. But like that's the scene where you also see Lenny like on that same bed, like bumping and grinding. So it's almost like a lot of this shit was like a lot of the bad things that he did were done by this parasite.
Yeah. The parasite definitely takes over and like clouds any of those memories just because it's parasite and it needs David to continue living because it needs to live, right? It lives because David lives.
Those locations aren't nearly as random as they seem.
Right. I also think that the parasite is like physically teleporting themselves to those locations. Like it's not just a metaphysical or a metaphorical sense. Like they are actually there in those locations to show off a little bit of their strength and like how actual how their powers work in a lot of ways. Jesse, what's this face?
No, so I found the video and I'm watching the video online. It literally is just Aubrey Plaza, Lenny Busker, dance sequence, Legion, chapter 6. Like it exists. It has a million plus videos, views, but the beginning of this scene. That's not whose doctor's office is that?
That's their doctor office in the psych ward.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, but I'm saying when he saw his psychiatrist, it wasn't the psych ward psychiatrist, correct? The guy that's in the lighthouse that isn't the guy in the lighthouse. That's a different guy. She isn't present at that office.
No, but David did tell him what happened, and then he ruined that guy's life.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But
and that was when she took over to hide all that from David.
Sid is, well, I mean, yeah, but like, I think that's huge for his character, and that the mystery that Sid was trying to crack is, what is going on with David as a character. That moment, that means that the demon took over after. So whatever David did himself. It wasn't like he was in a different like mindset or like some parasitic demon is taking over his life. He straight up just like did it himself.
Yeah. Yes.
Which I think is a pretty interesting implication for who he is as a character.
Well, so I think like you also saw in the beginning of episode 5 when he's like a little cocky. That's Lenny being in control during that entire moment.
Most of what is happening, his like crazier, cockier moments are clearly Lenny control. Oh yeah, absolutely. But the idea of him in that doctor's office where Sid's like, I think he like beat the shit out of his doctor because of something he said. That isn't him beating the shit out of the doctor. I don't think is a Lenny thing. I think that's like he did that himself.
No, I think it's implied that that's Lenny.
Is it?
Because it's Lenny covering up the fact that Lenny exists to David, because he doesn't want that to exist.
Is it? I guess. I mean, you could.
Well, I think like Lenny also goes through great extents to hide that memory. If you remember, like he attacks them when they're in that memory because he like really doesn't want them to see it.
Yeah.
But based on the dance, I guess that we got. That scene's not included. There is no like dance scene in that room. It's everywhere else in the story. Every other key moment that we've seen repeatedly over and over and over again is in that scene, except for the one where he's in the doctor's office.
Right.
That potentially is where like all this started. So
yeah. Well, I mean, Lenny straight up says it started in the womb, and when she's like fucking with David towards the end. So it's much older than that. Like the parasite's been in David's body for quite some time, potentially his whole life.
Sure.
So
here's the thing, this is 100% a parasite, right? This isn't going to end up being like tricked you. It was actually like this is going to be like a weird like X-Men thing, right? Is where this is going.
I'm not going to answer that.
This is one like this is gonna be.
I'm not gonna answer that in any way.
Like a weird, like they're gonna pull something out of David, right? Like a weird, like, right? Because all I'm saying is there is straight up that scene where they're using leeches on his sister in like episode 3 or 4, or whatever. Like that, I was like, oh, they're gonna pull a leech thing out of this boy.
I could say this, and I think it will give you an answer that you're potentially looking for, and it's not a spoiler.
Sure.
The Lenny is a fairly well-known character in X-Men lore.
Really?
Well, I wouldn't say fairly well-known. They are a well-known character. They are a known character in the wide world of X-Men. And up until this point in the show, at this point in the show, most people had an inkling of who it was, because of the different things associated with the character at this point in the show.
Interesting.
Like people had kind of figured it out. It just was never said.
Huh. Okay.
And it's not kept secret very long, is what I will say. You start to they peel back the curtain pretty quick. But it's cool. I think it's a great like reveal for all that stuff. And then season 2, they go into it a lot more and discuss all that stuff in greater detail. And it, in a weird way, like the show in season 2 actually gets weirder. Right? Like they crank up the weirdness, and they also crank up the like destructive capability of everything in the show. And so you start to see like power levels rise across the board. Season 1 is kind of a prologue and all of that in a sense. But yeah, do you have any idea? Like your take is that they're going to extract it from David's mind and it ends up being like a physical thing.
I mean, maybe. I mean, they keep saying like parasitic, and like here's my assumption based on the name. Like, I know nothing about the character Legion at all, period.
Yeah.
And my assumption based on the name is that originally I thought like most of the people we see on screen are fake. They're like personalities of this dude because he is more than one person, and like all the voices in his head are like all the people that he's interacting with. Like that was my like initial assumption of this show.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's correct because they keep giving us backstories about like people's lives, but I don't know what's real. So I have no clue. And I'm very excited to see where this goes. But again, looking at what we've seen so far, it's been we haven't had a lot of forward momentum. Like we're a lot of like cerebral play, and you know, like it's interesting. It's super interesting, but we aren't like zooming through a story. It's taking its time with it.
Sure.
So
yeah.
We'll see where we end up.
Season 2 actually gets slower, if you can believe that.
Like they may not pull a damn thing out of his head. You know what I mean? Like he may still have a Lenny thing for like all 3 seasons. I have no clue.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
What'd you think about the silent sequence in the house, which is clearly like they enter into that area and then Melanie says like this could be a psychic projection. We might have crossed over and not known. And then right when they say that, it just like it goes silent. It goes quiet.
I think I can't tell if this is supposed to be like it in my mind. That seemed to be a defensive mechanism, right? But I can't tell who is responsible for it.
Right.
Like I don't know
if it's Lenny or David is what you're saying.
Right. Like I don't know. And again, I think that's very good on them for the storytelling aspect of it, that they still have me confused as to what is Lenny versus what is David, and what are the things that David is trying to hide versus what are the things that like.
Because David tells Sid, you got to remember in the White Room, David tells Sid to be quiet when the doors open.
Right. Yes.
So it's kind of a continuation of that as well, potentially.
But I mean, this all goes back to the dog. Like, I don't assume Lenny.
I remember when I told you the dog's a big thing, and you were just like, "Yeah, well, that's fucking weird."
Yeah, like it's just I love that the show takes time. Like, you know, there's no need for it to take as much time as it does with the Oliver storyline, but it does. And I like that. I like that it starts as a weird coffee machine that talks, and now we are like deep in Oliver lore, which is like crazy to me. But I don't know. I don't know where this show is going at all. Like at all. I have no clue what is going to happen. But they've introduced a lot of characters that I'm like interested in, and it's weird that the main character is still the biggest mystery of the entire thing. And I'm just like tuning in to see what the thing is. I will let you know, because of this show, I am now full in on Hulu. Before I had like the bootleg version where you had to watch commercials.
Oh, you bought
because this show. I was like, I can't do these commercials. I got to see what the fuck happens.
Well,
and so I just
the commercials
the extra
are
$5.99.
Yeah, the commercials they know how to do a cliffhanger for commercial break.
I couldn't do it. I like would just sit there and be like 2 whole minutes. No. So I just went and paid another $5-10 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I was like, fine, I'll do this. So you got me, Hulu.
Well, there you go. Next week we'll cover 7 and 8, the final 2 episodes of Legion, and then, guys, a lot of TV shows are starting soon. We got a lot of stuff coming up. We got Moon Knight at the end of the month. Halo starts this week on Paramount Plus, not MCU related, but that's going to be fucking weird. That's a doozy.
Halo.
I don't know if I'm ready for that, dude.
Dude,
I don't know if I'm ready.
It's not reviewing very well, so we'll see how that goes.
I mean, you don't publicly say that you had 295 drafts of your scripts. Don't do that. That's not normal at all.
Yeah.
At all.
I think people try to say that to be like they
worked hard on it or something.
Yeah, they misinterpret like why the internet is reticent, if that makes sense. Like they don't know how to I don't know how to describe it. Like they don't know how to they don't understand why nerds are mad. So instead of like putting those fears to rest by describing what they're doing different that past failures to adapt such media haven't done, they instead are like, but we're working really hard. Like, we're working really hard. It's like, but nobody cares if you work hard if you still fail. I know that sounds really mean, but like, sometimes your best really isn't just like good enough and it's still bad. And, I kind of had that same response to like Cyberpunk. Like, I really liked that game, but I kept encountering these game breaking bugs. And anytime I would complain about it, people were like, oh, but the devs worked really hard and they crunched. I was like, yeah, I get that. I'm not blaming the devs. Clearly it's a project management issue, but like this game has game breaking bugs. I can't finish half the fucking missions. So their best wasn't good enough,
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like because there was also like the other trending news I saw was that one of like some of the narrative team on it basically said that they've never played the game. And they didn't think it was important to play the game, and they just focused on the lore. And it's like, well, I understand that you don't have to play the game or to understand the lore, but I think if you do, you might understand the charm of it. Like, because reading the lore isn't going to help you understand the feeling of being on Reach. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't really, like, as a writer, I can tell you that video games are a very interesting format because they're multidimensional. You have a visual component, you have an audio component, and you have a reading component. You have lore intermixed with that as well as gameplay mechanics, And when those gameplay mechanics go hand in hand with the narrative, that's where we get like what's called, not to be super technical, ludonarrative harmony. That's the word for that, where the gameplay mechanics support what the story is telling. Now, a lot of times gamers get turned off when they experience what is called ludonarrative dissonance, which is that the story is telling us one thing, like, oh, like, peace is the answer, but then half of the game is shooting
You're murdering
animals
everyone.
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of games like The Last of Us Part 1 especially, what really attracted people to it is, first of all, the care taken in the story, but that ludonarrative harmony. Like, you are told that these creatures are very dangerous. You're not the most skilled, and the mechanics of the game support that. At the beginning of the game, one clicker can kill you. And so there is this sort of meshing, like the characters are telling you this is a very big threat. And then you as a player experience that fear when you come across these creatures in the space. Whereas other games where they like, they'll be like, oh God, zombies. And you're like, whatever, we've mowed down like 500 of these. Who cares,
Right. Well, I think the great example in Halo is just Halo 3, the end of Halo 3, for example. Like, that is a panicky ending. We were like, we're gonna get off this damn planet, bro. Like, unless you're in a moment.
Halo thing.
Yeah, like, unless you're in the moment playing it, watching it or reading it will not give you the same feeling because you are not Mr. Badass Spartan. You are literally just like watching a scene. When you're in it and you're like running for your life in that moment, it has a different emotionality to it. And I think not experiencing that, you're missing out on all that shit in the way that you should be telling the story. And yeah, I mean, I think they're also missing out on one of the biggest things about Hollywood that sucks is that everyone, and this is from a guy who has made a few shows, this is every time. People, especially producers and writers and showrunners, whatever, always want to add their little like thing to it so they can say they added a thing to it.
Yeah.
And so you can see all the layers of like, well, I added this and I added this and I added this, because rather than just give us the story of a like badass dude who's kind of a mystery, who is, you know, basically Mandalorian. And a lot of people are saying this is just like a less cool Mandalorian, but like basically living that life,
I guess.
Instead we're getting like, it's a story about a man reflecting on his humanity. And I think in episode 2, he takes off his mask. In episode 2!
Yeah, they take off his helmet pretty quick, according to some of the leaks.
Episode 2!
Yeah.
Crazy. Like, yeah. I think they missed the mark. And it goes back to the idea of, like, them creating this. They clearly, like Bronze, you were saying earlier, I feel like they straight up just, like, saw a mountain and decided to scale the cliff in front of them rather than just walking around the back. You know, like they were like, we can do this. We're going to work as hard as possible. And then they just like took the wrong path. They were like, all right, cool, I guess. Thanks, guys. I don't know. I'm not looking forward to it. I'll watch it.
I'm going to watch it.
I'm going to hate it every step of the way. I can already tell.
We'll see how it goes. We'll
I think like anytime you try to tackle something, you should try to do your due diligence.
Yeah.
Like even when it's like hosting or interviewing, like I hate when I'm hired by a company and they don't give me any prep time. Like I actually really fucking hate it, because I know if I'm going to be interviewing the devs of a game, I will play 15 to 20 minutes of it. Yeah. Not enough. Like I won't necessarily beat the game, but how can you ask someone interesting questions if you have no clue what their body of work is? Like if you have no idea what they've fucking made.
Yeah, that's why when you do like late night TV shows, the host usually watch the movies of the people they're interviewing, of the stars that are going there, right? Like they go and watch the films so they can actually ask
or read
questions.
The book.
Yeah, or read the book, or have some sort of researcher actually, do the work and like watch whatever they're going to be interviewing about. So
yeah, so then you can do call outs to specific things in the content and talk about specific scenes.
Yeah.
And it's just like crazy to me that like for me, the base level research, if you were to say, hey Bronze, we need you to write a Halo show. I mean, I've already played the games, but the first piece of research I would do is probably play through them again, refamiliarize myself with what is it really that has made Halo kind of endure the test of time and become one of the most iconic video game franchises ever. We have tons of shooters. We have tons of games like this. What about this one is what connected to gamers? Because until you get at the heart of that, how can you make a good show?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let you in on the craziest secret. Everyone.
Big secret.
It wasn't his humanity. It wasn't his like, what makes him a man? Like that, no one gave a shit about that.
Yeah, it wasn't.
No one.
No. You're right. All right, let's do some shout outs and wrap it up.
Jesse? I love hearing Jesse talk about Star Wars. It's so good.
Look at this man. Look at this man over here wearing the double collared shirt. Look at him.
It's not double. It's just the inside is red.
It's double collared. It's classic.
That's car dealership.
Oh, you're right.
Shirt.
It's not double collared at all. God damn, this was all an illusion.
The inside is red. Yeah.
Jesse, you should wear a double collared shirt.
A car based off of that shirt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'd be like, get this man an Escalade.
Oh,
based off that shirt.
Thank you.
Got the credit. Show this man our most luxury models.
Give him those Versace glasses.
Hell yes. All right. Hey, hi, boy. Man, I'm trying to think of all the things that are going on this week. There's a lot, but most of it involves me trying to. There is some game that I was informed of called Half Dead 2 that looks ridiculous.
Okay.
And I want to play it because it looks ridiculous. And I've never seen anything like it. So I'm going to try, and I think it's like a weird, I don't know. I might want to try that. And like, stuff on YouTube, and I'll probably stream some things, and like, what the hell? I don't know. It's gonna be fine. It's just another week. I am more excited than anything. I got 2 more episodes of Legion to watch. I'm like really hyped for those. So fingers crossed, they're good.
Yeah. Bronze? What do you got? Whoa, big bronze.
Whoa, big bronze.
Big guns, big bronze.
Oh, that's the wrong. What? Bronze, get in the camera frame. I gotta put you in your box, Bronze. Jesus.
You can't get me. You can't get me.
There we go. Small bronze.
Oh man.
There we go. What do you got going on?
Hi. Hello. I'm that bronze girl. I was gone for 2 weeks shooting an awesome project that hopefully y'all will see soon. Everything I'm working on is under NDA, but in the interim, I am streaming and making content. You can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitch. You can check out my YouTube. Most of the stuff I'm putting out right now is D&D content. I've got an ongoing game Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. And then I just launched a one-night Strahd miniseries, which is basically just speedrunning Strahd. And that's Friday night. So check it out. Okay, bye.
Awesome. Great.
Okay, bye.
Great.
Okay, bye.
Anyways, then me and Bronze will we're doing some D&D stuff together. We'll
what?
We're doing a one shot.
We're doing session 0 soon. We haven't announced a guest or anything.
That's awesome.
But we'll do that after we get the art made, so that it doesn't just come together as like a hodgepodge of tweets.
My dad's gonna be there.
Really? Old dad?
Yeah, my Ack Inc. dad.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, forgot about that. That is true. Anyway,
Maybe just spoiling cast. JP's like, we're not announcing cast yet.
No, that's fine. It's fine to do the tease like that. Next week we'll do final 2 episodes of Legion. We'll get prepped for Moon Knight because that debuts next Wednesday. The drought will be over of MCU Crew shows, and then we'll start covering that every week. Pretty much up until when does Doctor Strange come out? What weekend is that? Let's see. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
May 6th.
Oh, so it goes all the way till. Oh, so we have. Okay. Wait, so if there's 6 episodes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, so it'll be between episode 5 and 6. Okay.
That's usually what they do, and then we'll get something crazy that will be like,
yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll cover that in May. And yeah, I guess Morbius, right? I guess Morbius is a thing. And maybe we'll go see that. I don't know. Maybe we'll just send Jesse to see that, and Jesse can tell us about that film.
I'll report back.
While me and Bronze just kind of grimace our way through it in terms of Jesse's review. I don't know. We'll see.
Also, how dare they? I know that everyone on Multiverse of Madness is like, Patrick Stewart's not in it, but literally if you just Google Doctor Strange, over on the side it says Multiverse of Madness, and then the 4th person listed is Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even, the internet is like, no, we don't believe you.
Yeah.
Google has decided you're
Google's
in this.
Decided. It's a little strange. That's it. Thanks for watching, Jesse. Good luck in the ever-going war to end MCU Crew next week. We'll triumph. Okay.
No, next week I am doing nothing. I'm going to show up extra early and just sit here and wait.
Okay.
And not do nothing.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. You never know. Oh, we're out of here. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye.